anyone up for some more monorail videos, I think I could probably make a few more available to you. Back in episode 85, I talked about the history of the monorail and the narration that goes along with it. Now, in this episode, I'm going to talk about the 1990s narration that came about with Matt Hanson. But before I get to that, I wanted to fill in a couple of more blanks that I think are kind of interesting. The first is about Kevin Miles. Yeah, he was a Dapper Dan. He was in the barbershop quartet that performs along Main Street. And I think it's really interesting to think about the fact that in the 1980s, up until a couple of years ago when he retired, you could see Kevin out there performing on a regular basis. It's just kind of neat to have that connection directly to the monorail narration, and you could actually see the person who was narrating it, even though you may not have known it was him. Now, I found a couple of videos online where you can see him performing, and I just wanted to share them with you briefly so you get a sense of who Kevin is and what he looked like when he was performing out on Main Street. And I have no doubt you can recognize his voice along the way.
In the Dapper Dans to all of you, Merry Christmas!
And the second thing is something new I learned from a couple of monorail pilots that I heard from who were pilots back in the 70s and into the early 80s. It's kind of interesting to hear the perspective of, there were actually other people who did the monorail narration along the way. And it makes perfectly logical sense. You wanted to fill in some information. Remember that sometimes it was about safety, but primarily it was about things that were going on, things that were happening at Walt Disney World, and they wanted to share them with you in some way. And it was to be interactive and be fun and have some things going on there. So it's kind of neat to think that there were other people who occasionally did a monorail spiel and were out there and doing the narration along the way, in addition to Jack and Kevin, before we moved on to the next incarnation of the monorail. Now, of course, I was a regular visitor to Walt Disney World, and I probably heard these voices along the way, but honestly, I can't differentiate them in my head anymore. It's just been too long, and I think the voices kind of run together a little bit. But what I do know is there were a couple of people who were out there doing the monorail narration, and I know for sure that one of them was Dan O'Keefe. Now, from what I gather, Dan was one of those guys who was the consummate cast member. He was the guy who was always motivating everyone else. He was the life of the party in a way. Now, you may know that part of the deal is when you're a cast member, your job is to entertain and delight, and you're part of the magic. You are part of the reason that guests are enjoying themselves at Walt Disney World. And so when you have the right personality there, someone who really does lead the pack, that's the kind of person you'd want to have doing monorail narrations along the way. Now, interestingly, one of the other things that happened was that Dan carried a camera with him. It would have been a film camera based on the era, but he had a film camera he'd carry around from time to time and make films of other monorail pilots. And occasionally, he would appear in them too. So we kind of get a sense of what Dan was doing and how he engaged with everyone because he kept it fun and upbeat, and that's really what it's all about. And it's a perfect example of how Disney used people to kind of fill in and make things interactive and fun. Now, while I can't find audio from Dan or anyone else, I did find this clip of a monorail pilot giving information to guests on a trip out to Epcot. And what's interesting about it is that it's interactive, it's fun, it's personal, it has that sort of warmth to it. It's the kind of thing you'd want to hear, so it gives you a sense of what it would have been like to ride the monorail in that era. Now, don't miss the fact that the pilot talks about his chief engineer being in the rear cab, the backward-facing cab in the monorail. That's something that was usually done as sort of a safety feature. It was a way to make sure that the monorail trains were safe and there was some communication and the pilots could see behind them, and it made things easier, especially during switching operations. So it was really an important thing to do to really enhance the safety. Disney was very big on ensuring that everything was triple checked and there was lots of different avenues to make sure that safety was paramount. Now, at some point along the way, they took the second pilot out of the back of the monorail, and they put mirrors on the front so that the pilot could see behind them. And that was a contributing factor to the fatal accident that happened back in 2009. Now today they've replaced the idea with cameras and sensors and other things to make it safe in a very different way. But it's interesting to think about the context of it. It's the simplest things sometimes. You put another monorail attendant, the chief engineer, in the back of the monorail so they can see what's happening around you. Just kind of interesting to hear that put in perspective like that.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who just joined us at the Transportation and Ticket Center, welcome aboard Monorail Pink. On behalf of myself and my chief engineer at the rear of the train, we'd like to welcome you this morning on the Walt Disney World Monorail system. We have a few things we need to ask of you, however. Please remain seated throughout our entire trip, and please refrain from smoking, drinking, and eating for the comfort of you and others around you. We've got a fixed altimeter reading here of about 35 feet. My average cruising speed is going to be about 20, 25 miles per hour. So we ask, please sit back, relax. Our ETA to Epcot's about 8 to 10 minutes. Once again, on behalf of myself and my chief engineer, thanks for riding with us this morning on Monorail.
And now we move on to the 1990s. Kevin Miles became the primary narrator around the time that Epcot opened, and he stayed as the primary narrator up until the time that they decided it was time to change over the fleet. That would have been from about the late 1980s into about the early 1990s. Disney took delivery of the Mark VI monorails, retired the old Mark IVs, and took them off the line. With these new monorails came an entirely new system for playing back the audio that they wanted to have. Now what they could do is have automated audio that would play as the monorail moved along. As it moved into a station, as it moved over certain sensors, it would play certain audio. And that made it easier to make sure that the safety spiels were all included in there, and also that they could provide any narration, any updates, any information that they wanted to guests as they traveled along the 3 monorail routes. The person they tagged to do this was Matt Hanson. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Matt Hanson was working as a cast member in the Magic Kingdom. He worked in guest services and did some things like tours and gave people other information. Now, I'm pretty sure that I met Matt at least once. I was working in the Emporium kind of across the street. And of course, you'd run into people periodically. And I remember someone telling me, hey, he's the voice in the monorail. And I thought that was pretty cool. Now, it turns out that the picture I found of Matt Hanson is the same Matt Hanson. One of the interesting things someone pointed out to me was the simple fact that at the time he did the monorail spiel, back in the early 1990s, Matt Hanson had a full head of hair. And now for your listening pleasure, it's the 1990s on the monorail. These are the Mark VI monorails first being deployed to the parks. And here's Matt Hanson to tell you all about your journey on the 3 beams of the monorail.
Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Express Monorail, our highway in the sky to the Magic Kingdom. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors. For the comfort of others, no smoking, please. Thank you. We are circling the Disney-created Seven Seas Lagoon. Rising from the Magic Kingdom, on the opposite shore is Cinderella Castle. You can also see Disney's Mountain Range, Big Thunder Mountain and Splash Mountain in Frontierland, and Space Mountain in Tomorrowland. To the right-hand side on the shores of Bay Lake is Disney's Wilderness Lodge, which captures the spirit of the National Park Service lodges built in the West during the early part of this century. Also on Bay Lake, you can enjoy a natural setting at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. More outdoor recreation can be found at River Country, Disney's version of the old-fashioned swimming hole. Discovery Island, an 11-acre zoological park, is located in the center of Bay Lake. Launches to Discovery Island depart from Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground, the Magic Kingdom, and Disney's Contemporary Resort. We are entering Disney's Contemporary Resort, where on the Grand Canyon Concourse you can start your day with Chef Mickey's Character Breakfast. For a panoramic view of Walt Disney World, the California Grill, located on the 15th floor, offers an exquisite array of fine dining experiences, with each meal prepared on stage as a specialty of the house. While your group is together, now is a great time to pick a place to meet if you become separated in the park. Should you become separated, stop by City Hall on Main Street, USA for assistance. Guest relations at City Hall can also help you plan your day, make dining arrangements, or provide a special guided tour of the Magic Kingdom. In front of the Magic Kingdom is Disney's Walk Around the World, a pathway that will eventually stretch more than 3.5 miles around the Seven Seas Lagoon. Each stone in the pathway commemorates the name and year of an individual guest visit or an entire family vacation at Walt Disney World. Ladies and gentlemen, we're approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 themed lands of the Magic Kingdom. If you're standing, please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the doors until the monorail stops completely and the doors open. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Magic Kingdom Monorail Station. On behalf of the cast of the Walt Disney World Resort, we'd like to welcome you to the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, please collect your belongings and watch your head and step. Please assist small children by the hand. Once again, we hope you enjoy the Magic Kingdom. As you board, please move across your car to make room for everyone, and kindly offer available seating to those needing special assistance. If you're standing, please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the automatic doors. They will be closing in a moment. Thank you. We will be traveling to the Transportation and Ticket Center. If you are traveling to Disney's Contemporary, Polynesian, or Grand Floridian resorts, please exit this monorail. The monorail on the opposite side of this station services our resort hotels. For assistance, please ask a monorail host or hostess. If you are standing, please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the doors. They will be closing in a moment. The monorail will depart momentarily for the Transportation and Ticket Center. Thank you.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Express Monorail to the Transportation and Ticket Center. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors. For the comfort of others, no smoking please. Thank you. We hope you've enjoyed the Magic Kingdom. Within the 47 square miles of the Walt Disney World Resort, you'll discover much more entertainment and recreation for all ages. Each themed Disney resort features daytime and nighttime activities. For a wide variety of shopping, dining, and nighttime entertainment, visit Disney's Boardwalk or Downtown Disney, which includes the Marketplace, Pleasure Island, and the West Side. We also invite you to experience River Country, Typhoon Lagoon, and Blizzard Beach, our themed water parks. Coming up on the lagoon side is Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. This picturesque Victorian-themed resort provides a taste of turn-of-the-century Florida, with the modern conveniences of a full-service spa and health club. You can enjoy breakfast or dinner with the Disney characters at 1900 Park Fair, or dine on the shores of Seven Seas Lagoon at Narcoossee's. Citrico's in the main building specializes in a mix of market-fresh Floridian and Mediterranean meals that change with the season. Each night here on the Seven Seas Lagoon, we present our electrical water pageant. This shimmering musical parade features King Neptune and other creatures of the deep. Located between Disney's Grand Floridian and Polynesian resorts is Disney's Wedding Pavilion. Couples may exchange vows in a fairy tale setting, complete with the picturesque backdrop of Cinderella Castle. Experience a South Seas Island adventure at Disney's Polynesian Resort. Inside the Great Ceremonial House, you can enjoy breakfast with Minnie Mouse or a unique dining experience at Ohana. Other evening entertainment includes the Polynesian Luau Dinner Show and the Neverland Club, a supervised dinner buffet for children. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the Transportation and Ticket Center. This includes all sections of the Magic Kingdom car and bus parking lot. If you are traveling to Epcot, please exit here and board the monorail at the connecting monorail station. Separate bus transportation is provided to Disney's Animal Kingdom, the Disney MGM Studios, Typhoon Lagoon, and Downtown Disney, which includes the Marketplace, Pleasure Island, and the West Side. Buses also travel to Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground and Disney's Wilderness Lodge. Should you need additional assistance, a host or hostess will be happy to help you. This monorail will be returning to the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're standing, please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the doors until the monorail stops completely and the doors open. If this concludes your visit to the Walt Disney World Resort, we hope you've had a wonderful time and will return home safely. This is the Transportation and Ticket Center. Thank you for traveling with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please collect your belongings and watch your head and step as you exit. Please assist small children by the hand. Thank you. To our new passengers, aloha and welcome aboard. Coming up on the lagoon side is Disney's Wedding Pavilion. Couples may exchange vows in a fairy tale setting complete with a picturesque backdrop of Cinderella Castle. We are now stopping at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, a Victorian-style hotel offering the modern conveniences of a full-service spa and health club. For dinner, we invite you to experience the casual elegance of Citrico's, Walt Disney World's newest dining adventure, specializing in seasonal fresh local products, accented with Mediterranean flavors and paired with international wines.
To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors. For the comfort of others, no smoking, please. While your group is together, now is a great time to pick a place to meet as you become separated apart. Should you become separated, stop by City Hall on Main Street, USA for assistance. Guest relations at City Hall can also help you plan your day, make dining arrangements, welcome on this special guided tour of the Magic Kingdom. Don't forget to use Disney's Fast Pass or any fun time on our most popular attractions. Check the Magic Kingdom Park Guide Map for Fast Pass details. As you approach the entrance, please keep your party together and have your tickets ready. If you are traveling from another Disney theme park, please have your tickets and hand stamp ready as you enter the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7-seat plans of the Magic Kingdom. Smoking is not permitted at the Magic Kingdom except in designated areas. If you are exiting, please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the doors until the monorail stops completely and the doors open. For those of you remaining on board, our next stop will be Disney's Contemporary Resort. If you are traveling to Epcot, please remain on board. You'll need to change trains just 2 stops away at the Transportation and Ticket Center. To our new passengers, we welcome you aboard our Highway in the Sky and hope you've enjoyed the Magic Kingdom. During our travels, please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the doors. We are approaching Disney's Contemporary Resort, where on the Grand Canyon Concourse you can start your day with Chef Mickey's Character Breakfast or enjoy a relaxing lunch or dinner at the Concourse Steakhouse. For a panoramic view of Walt Disney World, the California Grill, located on the 15th floor, offers an exquisite array of fine dining experiences, with each meal prepared on stage as a specialty of the house. This is Disney's Contemporary Resort. If you are exiting, please watch your head and step.
Our next stop will be the Transportation and Ticket Center, which includes Magic Kingdom car and bus parking. If you're traveling to Epcot, please exit here and follow the overhead directional signs. Separate bus transportation is provided to Disney's Animal Kingdom, the Disney MGM Studios, Typhoon Lagoon, and Downtown Disney, which includes the Marketplace, Fletcher Island, and the West Side. Buses also travel to Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground and Disney's Wilderness Lodge. If this concludes your visit to the Walt Disney World Resort, we hope you've had a wonderful time and will return home safely.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
We are traveling to Disney's Polynesian Resort. Inside the Great Ceremonial House, you'll find shopping and dining with a South Seas flavor, including Ohana and Minnie's Mini Hoodie Character Breakfast. The Polynesian Luau is presented Tuesday through Saturday in the Luau Cove. For casual dining and great coffee, visit Kona Cafe, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner daily. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now stopping at Disney's Polynesian Resort. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the doors until our train stops completely. For those of you remaining on board, our next stop is Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, with continuing service to the Magic Kingdom and Disney's Contemporary Resort.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The Walt Disney World Monorail to Epcot. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stand clear of the doors. For the comfort of others, no smoking, please. Thank you. As we turn south, you can catch a glimpse of the spires of Space Mountain and the Magic Kingdom. Nearby is Disney's A-framed contemporary resort. You may also see Disney's Wilderness Lodge, which captures the spirit of the National Park Service lodges built during the early part of the century. We are traveling to Epcot. Here at Epcot, nations celebrate human achievement and potential. Its 300 acres are divided into two worlds, Future World and World Showcase. Future World offers fascinating explorations into realms of energy, transportation, and imagination. You'll also find adventures in communications, sea exploration, food production, and other vital topics. World Showcase is a community of nations, highlighting the accomplishments and cultures of people around the world. On the banks of the 40-acre World Showcase Lagoon are Mexico, Norway, China, Germany, Italy, the American Adventure, Japan, Morocco, France, the United Kingdom, and Canada. Young adults from each nation represented in World Showcase are among your hosts, making this a true international exchange. Beyond the trees ahead and to the right-hand side of our forward motion is Spaceship Earth. This 18-story geosphere marks the entrance to Epcot. Inside Spaceship Earth, time machine vehicles take you through the evolution of human communications from a distant yesterday to the dawn of tomorrow. Coming up behind Spaceship Earth is Innovations. Inside this hands-on area, you can explore and interact with the ever-changing technologies and products that may be used for everyday living in the near future. To the opposite side is the Universe of Energy. Inside, you'll find Ellen's Energy Adventure, hosted by Ellen DeGeneres and Bill Nye the Science Guy. Next is the Wonders of Life, where you'll discover Body Wars, which takes you on an amazing trip through the human body. Then comes Horizons, where you can experience 21st century living on land, at sea, and out in space. Currently closed for renovations, World of Motion will soon reopen as Test Track, presented by General Motors, where guests can experience firsthand a thrilling high-speed test drive. Coming into view is World Showcase. Directly across from us on the far shore of the World Showcase Lagoon is our host pavilion, the American Adventure. The glass pyramids are the gateway to your journey into imagination. Inside, you can find the 3D adventure, Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Join Professor Wayne Selinsky as he receives the Inventor of the Year award for his incredible shrinking machine. Next is the land, where you'll discover creative partnerships between people and the land around the world. In the living seas, you can descend via hydrolator to Seabase Alpha and navigate the largest, most spectacular coral reef environment ever created by humankind. This year, Epcot is celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Walt Disney World Resort, and we've invited the whole world to join in the fun. To all our returning guests of honor, we thank you for coming back to share the magic with us during this momentous 25th anniversary celebration. Also, welcome to all our first-time guests. You've picked a great year to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Epcot Monorail Station. Please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the doors until the monorail stops completely and the doors open. On behalf of the cast of the Walt Disney World Resort, we'd like to welcome you to Epcot.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Monorail system. We are traveling to the Transportation and Ticket Center. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors. For the comfort of others, no smoking, please. Thank you. The spirit of Epcot you've experienced today has guided the design of the entire 28,000 acres of the Walt Disney World Resort. You'll find the application of leading-edge technology evident throughout as we demonstrate our philosophy. If you can dream it, you can do it. We hope you're enjoying your journey along our highway in the sky. Disney monorails have been operating at Disneyland since 1959, with the Walt Disney World monorail system making its debut in 1971. Our monorail system was expanded to include Epcot in 1982. Mark 6 monorails replaced the original Mark 4 monorails at the Walt Disney World Resort in early 1991. Completing the modernization of the Disney monorail systems. Each train has a capacity of more than 300 passengers and travels at speeds of up to 40 miles per hour. Perhaps you've noticed that each of our 12 monorails is identified with a different colored stripe. Our pilots use the colors to help identify the monorails operating on the system. Originating from the Transportation and Ticket Center, there are 3 separate monorail lines. These include the Epcot monorail, the Express monorail to the Magic Kingdom, and the Resort monorail, which services Disney's Contemporary and Polynesian resorts and Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. Altogether, you can travel more than 13 miles on our quiet, environmentally attractive Walt Disney World monorail system. We are approaching the Transportation and Ticket Center. To reach the Magic Kingdom, you must exit here and transfer to the Magic Kingdom monorail or ferry boat. You can also reach Disney's Polynesian, Grand Floridian, and Contemporary resorts by exiting here and boarding a resort monorail. Separate bus transportation is provided to Disney's Animal Kingdom, the Disney MGM Studios, Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground, and Disney's Wilderness Lodge. Please double-check all directional signs before boarding any Disney transportation to ensure that you're traveling to the correct destination. Should you need additional assistance, a host or hostess will be happy to help you. This is the Transportation and Ticket Center. Smoking is not permitted at Walt Disney World theme parks and water parks except in designated areas. Please consult your guide map or ask a cast member for the location of designated smoking areas. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails and stay clear of the doors until the monorail makes a complete stop. When the doors open, please exit to the right-hand side of our monorail's forward motion. This monorail will be returning to Epcot. Thank you.
And there you go. That's the 1990s version of the monorail spiels, of the narrations that happened around the 3 lines of the monorail. On the next episode, I'll bring you what happened next into the early 2000s when Disney decided it was time to make a change again for the monorail host, and your narration became slightly different. Make one clarifying point. Everything I've done in these videos, everything that you'll see in here, everything that I've got included in the monorail videos, comes mostly from my sources, from videos that I took myself. If I took them from somewhere else, I note where they came from. And the second thing is, I just wanted to clarify that every one of these comes from a publicly available space. I don't go behind any closed doors or do anything awkward. This is all places that you can stand. Security will tell you it's okay if you're standing in these places. So just wanted to clear that up so you have that understanding too. So you can go and kind of recreate this if you want to, and go see these same places by just standing around on the 5th floor of the Contemporary, or down by the Switch, or wherever you might happen.